I finally got caught up on commissions. Well, except for the Alexandrite. I have to recut an Alexandrite for Thor's hammer because it chipped when I was setting it, unfortunately. So now I'm going to put flux right in the crack. Right in the crack. Worth all the pain. Yeah, there you go, Kimmy. Until you get like 2 months in, and then you're like, okay, I'm done with this kid. I'm doing very well. All right, so here we go. We gotta heat, because the solder will heat up before the chain does, and we want. There we go. You see that flow? You see that little flow there? Okay, now I gotta put a bunch more up top here, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. It goes very fast. That's the serotonin talking, or was it dopamine? I mean, since Sandy has gone back to work and I've been watching Sebastian during the day, I definitely feel more attached to him. You know what I mean? Like, at first it just felt like I was trying to keep a pet alive. Like, just like a pet sperm, just alive, you know? But now that I've been watching him during the days while Sandy's at work, I've definitely grown way more attached to him. Plus, he's starting to try and learn how to laugh. He hasn't laughed yet, but he's definitely trying to. Like, I'll poke his tickle spots, and he'll be like, ugh. Or it'll like build up and he'll go, ah. It's really actually quite humorous. See, like right now, guys, it does not want to flow. Let's try putting a little more solder on there. He definitely recognized me. Alexandrite comes in, so it changes colors. It changes from red to green. However, most Alexandrites that are mined, or rather, I guess chrysoberyl is yellow, but Alexandrite is the green/red that changes colors. Okay, alright. This is going to be it. So, the reason why it's so hard and I got to use so much solder is because the solder is flowing inside the link and making it solid. So I'm going to put my pick right here to keep the solder, because right here's the solder, to keep this solder from flowing this way. So it acts as a heat sink, basically. Alright, I think it filled that in. Now we gotta fill in the backside. So we have the same thing going on over here. You can actually see the crack right here, right? So let's see if we can fill that in too. Ideally, the solder will just pull through to this side, but we'll see. Alright, Kimmy, stay well, heal up quickly, and I'm glad you had healthy babies. Nephew recognized you and waved. Oh, that's awesome, Yar. Alright, so we need our easy solder. Again, we use easy solder because it's got a lower melting point, and especially with something like this, if I use something with a higher melting point, the bracelet would melt before it actually flowed. What's up? What's up, Mega? How you doing, dude? Thanks for joining. I feel like it's been a very long time. How's life? Alright, here we go. So I put flux on there. No! I melted it. Dealing with some stuff? Well, hopefully we can take your mind off of it. I'm doing really well. Sebastian's doing fine. We can salvage this, guys. We can salvage this. Oh my god, I can't believe that happened. We're going to set that aside. Yeah, Sebastian's doing well. He's almost 4 months now. And he's starting to try to learn how to laugh. He hasn't started rolling yet. But that's just around the corner. Just around the corner. Okay, so next up are these rings. Right here. We're just going to slaughter them together. We're going to put them together.
Oh, yeah.
Wow! Demon with the 20 months! Beating out Yar with his 19 months! Thank you so much, Demon. Really, really appreciate it. The support from all the years. Mega with the 16 months! Oh, man! Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Woohoo! A gold-coated chain instead of a hollow one? I miss 1 month. Alright, so we're going to solder this together. I'm wondering if I want to put this on the other side. Yeah, I think I do. Sorry, I'm just lining it up here. So I use these really cool tweezers that look like two claws, and that's what holds them together. So I'm going to go ahead and dip it in my boric acid and alcohol, light it on fire, then we're going to solder it together here. Now, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that the insides are lined up and flush. And then we're going to flow solder right here in between the ring. So, again, we use easy solder because if we ever need to pull it apart, it's easier to separate. And also, we are going to use easy solder because if this ring has been sized before, ideally the jeweler used hard solder, which has a higher melting point, and so then it won't pop on us. I saw that they were like live streaming some of the games on there. I'm kind of like a one game kind of guy. And I've been really big into the cycle lately. So I'm actually going to flow some solder from down here up because I want to try and close that gap right here a little bit. I tried to check out that game, what was it, something V or whatever? The vampire game. And I didn't actually get the game, but I like kind of watched some of the gameplay. And I gotta say, for all the hype, I was not impressed. I mean, I'm a big graphics guy too, though. I like nice graphics, and that game did not do it for me graphics-wise. We're gonna get a little warmer torch here. Was it V Rising or something like that? Oh. So, if you look here, well, you probably can't see it on camera, but there's some sizing seams that are popping up here when I'm heating it up, so I just got to be aware, otherwise the ring comes apart, and then, well, I got to resize it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our tweezers. You've been seeing it on the Discord server you're in? It's cool. It reminds you of Valheim. See, yeah, I guess. I got bored of Valheim too, though. I got a little bored of it. Just because, I don't know. I don't mind survival games, but when it feels, I don't know, a little too repetitive, I don't know. Wow, my camera does not like bright lights. Sorry, guys. So what I'm doing is I'm pinching. Oh, I dropped the solder off there. I'm pinching the ring together. Okay. Because when it heats up, it should pull together. And then make that gap smaller. And I don't want such a big gap because, well, number one, it looks kind of funny. Number two, you get more pits when it's spaced apart that far. There we go. Very casual, low energy. It intrigued you, but not enough to actually get it, especially because it's not fully developed yet. Too many games like that, yeah. That's actually why I've been really enjoying the cycle, because it's like Escape from Tarkov, but light, if that makes sense. And like there's no wait time to get into the map. It's a persistent map, so you got people constantly entering, and you can exit whenever you want too. So that makes it very nice. Okay, what do we do here? Oh. It's free to play on Steam. And I enjoy it, especially because also everything in there is your equipment is all based on what you craft. And if you craft it, then you have it. And so like there's no market where people can buy from other players. Please tighten baguette on band, tip the round accent stone on engagement ring and solder all them together. Alright. So, well, this is actually kind of dirty. But we'll go through and tighten the stones anyway. We'll put this in there. So here's what it looks like that right there. So when we tighten stones, let me see if like I said, I haven't been on this camera in a while. Can we zoom it in? Woo! Wow, look at that. Very nice. Now, what if we come out one more? Perfect, right there. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect. So when I tighten stones, I use what's called a graver. It's just basically a flat, sharp thing. And all I'm doing is pushing metal down over the stone. So first we're going to go ahead and check the stones and see if they're tight. That one's loose. That baguette's loose, so is that one. So a channel is what we do, is we just pull tiny bit of metal down from the edge if possible. Oh, that prong needs to get moved. I'm gonna have to retip their center stone too here, I think. Let's see if this is a warranty piece. It is not warranty. Sorry guys, I gotta make sure I check my phone in case Sandy needs help. Alright. Gotta fix that. This baguette's loose. Let's go ahead and tighten that up. So all you need is just like the very, very tiny bit of metal, and it will hold in your stone. It does not take much. I'm going to toss this in the cleaner because we are going to have to tip on it, and you don't want to put heat to a ring that is so dirty because it'll turn underneath all the stones. It'll turn them black, and that's just even more of a pain in the butt to clean. So by cleaning it before you work on it, it saves you a lot of time in the long run. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the ultrasonic. While that is brewing, while that's brewing, we will go ahead and clean up our solder together. So we soldered these two rings together right here. Sorry, I have such bright lights in here because I need them, and the cameras hate the bright lights. So there's going to be a bit of a glare. Sorry, guys. Let's just go ahead and zoom that out a little bit here. Alright, so we put solder in between the rings. So now we got to just redefine that line between the rings. So this is just a saw. We're just sawing out a little bit of a line. By the way, guys, if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask. Love talking about what I do. I was going to facet tonight, but then I saw how much work we had to get done, so then I decided to come out here. It's okay. I think this is a little more entertaining than watching me go back and forth on my faceting machine. So now I just have a really dull file that is one of my favorite files that I'm just going on either side of the rings or the line just to define it even more. And then we'll go ahead and clean up the rest. By the way, Ryan, I understand now. No one ever wants to talk gems. Nope, no one ever wants to talk about gemstones. Why, is Demon already sick of it? What's up, Lazy Mountain? Brought work home. This is my work now. I'm self-employed now, Mountain. Yeah, how you doing, dude? Thanks for joining. She's tolerant. Yeah, you just wait. You just wait till you spend like 10 hours on a stone, and then she'll be like, yeah, cool, I'm watching this. It's coming, Yar. It's coming. Trust me. Alright, now we're going to use our silicone wheel just to smooth out all the file marks because it makes it easier to polish. And when I have such a high volume, this definitely makes polishing go a lot quicker. She did that on your second stone. Classic. I mean, Akira. I mean, I guess you get to pick your spouse. Now I'm just polishing the inside to make it nice and shiny. And then that other ring should be nice and clean by now. We got to make sure all the stones are tight in here. Always check your stones after working on the piece because it saves you so much time later on. You would not believe how many diamonds fall out in an ultrasonic cleaner. Oh my gosh. Actually, see all these right here? See all those? Those are all diamonds. All those are diamonds that have all fallen out in the ultrasonic cleaner. Yeah, it's crazy how many fall out. Alright. Sorry guys, I might yawn a little bit. I'm a little tired tonight. Alright, so we soldered these together. Let me just write on the back what I did. We're good to go. I am at the shop, yes! Business slowed on your end? Yeah, it's slow. I feel like it's slow all around, Mountain. I mean, for me, it's just starting to pick up. I've got, let's see, next week will be my 5th contract this month, so that'll be good. I'm really excited about that. Okay, so we are going to retip and slaughter together. I like to call it slaughtering. I don't know why. We'll probably switch to my other camera for that, though. I feel like it picks up better than this one from the top view. Yeah, what's up, Patters? Thanks for joining. There we go. We'll go from that view. Alright. Collecting those loose diamonds and all the dust from the gold, and you'll have a nice retirement fund one day. Yes. Yep, and all the scrap and all the dust and everything. Yep. Well, actually, it's not technically mine. It's the company's. So we actually, the way it works with us is, I'm gonna retip this first. The way it works is we send in our scrap at the end of the year, and then the refinery tells us like how much money we could get if we sold it to them, and then they'll just give us the money and keep the gold. Or they'll say we can add it to like your credit, or we can recast it into like basically like stock like this that we use to size rings. So that's kind of what we're gonna do. Is we're just gonna probably get just credit and then just order stock, which will essentially save the company money, because then it won't really affect our supply line, and we can cash out whenever we want. So we can keep an eye on gold prices and be like, oh yeah, let's cash out now. But again, all that goes to the company, which is actually pretty good. We like to keep a lot of money in the company, especially for like the slow season. Like right now, I would say this is the slow season for us. Okay, where's my white hard? Oh, it's right here. Huh. Those diamonds all... Oh, yeah. Yep, they're all replaced. I can't send a piece out missing a diamond? Are you crazy? Man. My reputation would be gone. Yeah, those are all... So, when diamonds are that tiny... Like basically all the diamonds on here, all these tiny ones, except for the center, those are called mellies. Why not with the same ones? Because when I'm doing 20 rings at a time, like in my cleaner, and I have 20 diamonds or 10 diamonds or even 5 diamonds fall out, I don't know necessarily which one goes to where. Now, if it's a lab-grown diamond, like with lab-grown mellies, I put all the lab-growns and cubic zirconias in separately than all the other ones, because those I cannot mix up. But when it's just a normal small one like that, they're all pretty much the same quality. And it's practically impossible unless you're doing one ring at a time, which I cannot do one ring at a time. Otherwise, I would not make any money. Like the places that you bring your ring to, or your jewelry to, jewelry store wise, if a stone falls out in their cleaner, they'll probably just grab something like this. Like this whole thing here is literally just diamonds, tiny diamonds. And replace it with one of those because it's less time and easier to replace it that way. And it's the same, if not probably better quality that's getting put in there too. This is the this is the side of the industry that people, I guess, don't know about. That's why I'm here, to tell you all of it. This is the nitty-gritty. Alright, these are too small, guys. I need to put this on. Gotta put on the visor. Hold on. Hold on. Gotta get it so it's actually straight on here. Also, can I zoom this beast in? Let's check. That thing's still in focus? Oh yeah. Look at that. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. But does that make sense? Mega? Oh! Oh, it's my wife. One sec, guys. Ah, there we go. Well, guys, I think Sebastian has his first ear infection. So we're taking him to urgent care tomorrow. Oop, don't like where that's going. Where's my tweezers? Yeah. Don't want the solder to flow in there. Take it out again. Alright, cool. No. But I mean, we've been so careful, like when giving him a bath and stuff, about water getting in his ear and stuff. I mean, supposedly ear infections happen quite often, especially when kids' teeth are coming in. So, I mean, it'll probably be some drops that we gotta put in there. He'll be fine. There we go. Nice. You got them a lot? I've never had an ear infection. Never. Sorry, I gotta answer. He was pulling at his left ear today. Oh. Okay. Nice. Okay, so now we're gonna turn the ring over here. And let's get those prongs right there too. Let me see if I can get you guys a better angle over here, yeah? This camera likes to shake a lot. So I don't use it too much. There we go. How's that? Good? I accidentally sent that text message to my friend saying he was pulling at his left ear today, and he goes, "Oh, I'm glad because we were talking about my little brother." He's like, "I'm glad your little brother found his ear." Well, come on. You know you want to flow. What that stuff is just flux, which helps the solder flow. There we go. There we go. Also, I think the center stone is a moissanite, not a diamond. You know how you can tell? Seems like doctors throw antibiotics at everything these days. Had a pediatrician who wouldn't bother doing a culture, just did antibiotics every time. Oh. So yeah, so what happens is when we heat it up, is my camera okay? Yeah, it turns yellow. So if we go like this, here, well I'm just gonna tip on it anyway. So moissanite will turn yellow. Whereas a diamond will stay white. You can see how it's kind of turning like a, maybe you can't see it, but turns like a tinge of yellow. This actually might just be a diamond that is still dirty underneath. I gotta remember to keep this in the camera. But when you let it cool down, it'll turn back to white just fine. Same thing with like sapphires. When you heat up a sapphire, it'll turn red like a ruby. And when you heat up like a pink sapphire, it'll turn clear. Camera's picking up a little yellow. Okay, good. Okay, next thing we got to do is solder them together, but I'm going to let that cool down for a second. So, what's next on the agenda? I'm not touching that chain anymore tonight. I don't feel lucky. I do not feel lucky with it. Oh, what's up, Banrock? Thanks for joining. Also, another way that you can tell if it is whatchamacallit, a moissanite is if it's really rainbowy compared to, like, a diamond reflects more white light. Okay, next is a chain. We're just going to put a lobster clasp on it, which will be fairly simple. Please supply and solder lobster indicated. Thank you so much. Okay. So we're going to use the same jump ring. What's up, Meredith Spawn? Can also look for the double refraction. Yep. So the double refraction of moissanite will show really rainbow. It'll just, I don't know, it looks kind of off. Like diamonds reflect rainbow, but not. Oh, there's already a ring on here. Well, we'll just use the new jump ring. Why not? But they won't show as much rainbow, if that makes sense, I guess. Do you know why jump rings are called jump rings? Because they're used to bridge a gap? No, I do not know. Do you know, Chemist? How are you doing, by the way? Oh, that's good to know. I never knew that, Meredith Spawn. I guess I never thought about that. Okay, so now what we're going to do here is we are going to solder this jump ring closed. So you can solder jump rings closed on lobster clasps like this, but you don't want to solder them closed on spring rings because any heat to the actual spring will cause it to not be springy anymore. See if I can adjust the focus here. There, I think that's good. No, no one seems to know the answer. You've asked a couple jewelers and chain mailers. No one seems to know. I guess, yeah, I've never thought of it. Okay, and we're going to use easy solder on this. The spring will lose its temper. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Banuk. Yeah, the spring will lose its temper. Which means it'll just start yelling at you. And then it'll quit its job. And no one likes that. Okay, so you see when I did that? I had this side heated up a little too much. And right here is where the seam is, but all the solder is over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat up over here on this side of the jump ring. So this solder will flow that way. Because solder likes to go where the heat is. There we go. Nothing worse than an angry spring. Just yelling and screaming, refusing to work. Yep, exactly. Alright, let's pull out the one that we just tipped on. And now we're going to slaughter them together. So we're going to line up those center stones on either side there. And then again, what we'd use is these crazy tweezers here to help hold the rings together. I call them solder togethers. I don't know if there's an actual name for them. We'll dip it in our alcohol and boric acid. Then I'll switch to my other camera here. Now again, what we're doing is we are going to be slaughtering these together. So we're going to put flux in between. We're going to take some easy solder. Because again, you want to use easy solder when you solder rings together, because if they were sized with solder, then if you heat it up too much with like hard solder, you're going to make those seams pop. And you don't want to do that. So you see I'm bringing the heat down the ring because that's where I want the solder to flow. And the ring in the middle here is a lot thinner than the one over here on the right side. So the so that ring's going to heat up faster than the other ring. So we got to make sure that we heat up that other ring a bit more. Now we'll add a little solder on this side. Now, let me show you this. Where's my loop? Alright, so this is what I was talking about. See that centerpiece there? That's a piece of stock that actually goes through the other ring as well. That started coming out when I was heating it up. Luckily it didn't pop, so we can blend that back in just fine. Does heat's tendency to move upwards affect your soldering? No, it does not. It doesn't affect it just because I guess my torch is so hot and directs the flame so much. If I have a fan blowing on it, that definitely 100% affects it. Alright, what am I doing here? Oh yeah. You wonder how much some people might freak out if they watch the repairs. A lot of people freak out. When they see their ring like that, when they see this, again, I gotta have a light right above the camera, so it has a lot of reflection. But yeah, when they see the ring so dirty like that, they freak out. It's like, I haven't done any of the cleanup yet. It's okay. It's okay. Alright, speaking of cleanup, let's go ahead and move over here to the bench pin, yeah? Can we zoom in? Oh yeah, look at that. I might even be able to kind of move this way a little bit. Can I ask an admin question, Ryan? Are you using software to track clients and jobs? I am. Yep, I use software. I even take a picture of every single piece of jewelry that comes through my shop. Just because I am very, 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 very paranoid of switching a ring with another job. Especially when I'm doing work for jewelry stores that give me, like, say, like 30 jobs. I don't want to accidentally switch one of their clients' rings. That would not be fun to try and track down. So yes, I'm very, very anal about record keeping. And it also covers my butt. 60% cleaning and polishing, yes. 100%. What software? It's called Repair Track. With a Q. The guy that developed it is actually very, very nice, and was asking me questions on how I was doing and all this other stuff, and giving me feedback and answering my questions. So yeah, he's a really good guy. The guy that developed it or whatever. Could you even see what I just did? Okay, good. I realized I didn't remember if I moved the camera or not. Alright, so that's there. Yeah, well, there's like a mainstream software, but it's like $5,000. And it didn't look very good. Like, it could do a lot of stuff, but it was like nothing that, like, I guess I needed. And then at that point too, because literally all I need is something that I can keep track of each client, like on the job ticket, like their name and stuff, and then it goes from there. You know, but like this is what the back of my job tickets look like, right? So we got the picture. That's the picture of it, and then you can have it say whatever else you want, like all that stuff there. like when it's received and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's a really good thing. But the biggest thing is if you're doing a lot of repairs, you got to figure out like the most efficient way to. Yeah, it does look like it was created in the '90s. You gotta find the most efficient way of like what's the minimal amount of information we need to be able to track this down if we need to, and still keep everything like informed. I'm gonna put this one in the cleaner. Because, let's see, since November I've taken in over 3,000 repair jobs, and everything is entered manually into the system. So like their first name, their last name, what company they're from, so on and so forth, what work we're doing, all that. Each individual picture is taken, so you can imagine how much time is spent just inputting all the clerical stuff. There's a new POS repair everything else software for jewelry, but it's expensive. I saw the one, I was looking at the one that like connects to QuickBooks. And that one was super expensive, and like I said, I mean, it was more than what I needed, especially for the price. Yeah, big and clumsy. Also, since I've like started using QuickBooks, because my tax lady prefers that I use QuickBooks, I am not a fan of QuickBooks. They it's not as intuitive as it like lets on. It definitely is not. Also, like, I don't know, it is clunky as well. So what we're doing right now is we're just redefining the lines where we soldered. Intuit is awful. Yeah. Yeah. Like, it'll keep track of like, so I have a business partner. He and I both own the company, Ryan 56K LLC, right? And he's not a fan of like the clerical paperwork or people side of things. So he just kind of wants to be on the bench and like help teach people, which is fine. So I handle most of that stuff. And when he goes into the QuickBooks thing, because like we also track our mileage, which is one nice thing about it. But when he goes in there and it's like, you have this much unpaid bills, and he's like, what? And he's like, Ryan, what's going on? And I'm like, it's wrong. It does not track our bank account properly. Or it'll say like, this is how much money you guys have. And it's like, no, we actually have more than that. So yeah, I mean, QuickBooks is good for like tracking your receipts, because you literally take a picture of every single receipt and stuff. And invoicing, it is good for invoicing. But other than that, even the invoicing is a little like clunky too. Like, I invoice, or rather I guess I used to invoice with PayPal when it came to like, excuse me, someone getting a ring from me, or me cutting a gemstone. And the way that my invoicing works is if you commission me for something, basically you put 50% down. A repair obviously isn't paid for until it's done, but a commission from scratch, 50% down, and it's non-refundable. And once that's paid, and that's used to basically reserve my time in the material to get started and all that, and then the rest is due upon completion. So with what do you call it? PayPal, you are able to put on there a minimal amount is due, but with QuickBooks, you can't tell them, or you can't have it say a minimal amount is due at all. You literally have to like tell them, hey, I need you to partially pay it for this much. And there's not even a partially pay button. It's like a little pencil that's way off to the side of the total. And you got to click the pencil and say make a partial payment. So I'm not impressed with that side of it. But again, it makes it significantly easier for my tax person to be able to track and to keep track of everything that goes on. So, gotta use it. Yeah, it is kind of a pain. So remember, we built those prongs. Ow, that's hot, 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 hot. So actually, here I can show you in this camera. Okay, so we built those prongs on these side stones. You see how now it looks like a bar going across those right there? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to saw it in half. I'm going to saw it in half and kind of split it. And then that'll make 2 prongs. So what I use is like this little, I don't know, it's like a little circular saw thing. It's got little teeth on it. So let me take my glove off because I forgot my camera hates blue. Camera absolutely hates blue. Oh, guys, my apprentice started setting stones today. I wonder if she left her ring here, if she took it home. I think she took it home with her. But she set a ton of stones, and she did really well. Let me see if I can find the picture that she sent me. I'm very proud of her. We're trying to get her trained up as fast as we can for Christmas. All right. Yeah, let me show you. So we gave her a bunch of pink CZs. Yeah, there it is. Check it. And she set them all. Yeah. She did pretty well. And those are all split prong. So that's actually kind of difficult. Oh, better change camera, Ryan. Change the camera. There we go. Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're just gonna split this prong. Split the other side. Cool. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to round out these prongs up on the center stone here. That one's got a weird thing going on. Those all look like little pink diamonds. Well, a lot of the times people confuse cubic zirconia for what do you call it? Is that going to be too far? Yeah, that's too far. How about if I go like this? Nope, still too far. Well, guys, guess that's what you get. I'll try filing right here. So yeah, a lot of people confuse cubic zirconia with diamonds just because they're very sparkly. I mean, I guess a lot of people confuse white sapphire with diamond too, just because it's white. Any white stone, a lot of people assume is a diamond. So what I'm doing right here is I'm just kind of rounding out the prongs. And what this does, again, this is just a very, I've had this file for 10 years, and it's very dull. So I don't take off a ton on the prongs, but just enough to put like a little flashing down on the stone so that it doesn't catch like in your hair or on your clothes or anything like that. Cheese joke. Have you ever had an apprentice named Jewel? No, I have not. I mean, cubic zirconia is beautiful, and it is a naturally occurring gemstone on Earth. It naturally occurs. It's just we haven't found any crystals that are big enough to facet, and so we can synthesize it pretty easily. Okay, now I use this tool that I made. That's like it looks like a flathead screwdriver, basically. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in between the prongs that I split. And I'm just gonna rock it back and forth. That's gonna kind of add a little bit more of a defined split to the prongs, and it makes them look really nice. And then what I'm gonna do on the center ones here, man, that stone looks crooked. Let's see if we can. There we go. So I'm just going to kind of lightly go over the top just to get everything level. And then we'll go over it with a rubber wheel after I scratch my back. So now we're going to just kind of blend all the metal in the prongs here so nothing's sticking out. Same thing with these other ones, I'm just going to lightly go over them. There we go. And then what I like to do is I like to run it over the polisher because when you run it over the polishing wheel, it makes them look a lot smoother, I guess is the best way I can describe it. So let me show you here. We'll do a before and after. How's that sound? Okay, so here is our before. So look at those center prongs. You see how they're kind of all scratchy. Same thing with our side prongs here. See how they look? They're not nice and round or anything. They look kind of goofy. So now I'm just going to take it to the polishing wheel real quick. Then you'll be able to see the before. Well, you already saw the before. But then you'll get to see the after. And now the after. They're just more kind of rounded. See, a lot more roundy. Super smooth. Yeah, it just kind of rounds them out a little bit more. Though I don't like how this one looks. Oh, guess I better change camera. That one had some weird flashing going over the top there. What's up, Tibbo? Thanks for joining. How you doing, man? Yeah! Alright, what's our next job? Do we have one in the cleaner? Yes, we do. Why, yes, we do. We're going to be doing some retipping here. But before we do that, should we do a chain break? Let's do a chain break, shall we? Chain break. Oh, did I? Hold on. I think I changed this camera. No, that's actually perfect right there. There we go. Is that a special saw? No. It's just a hacksaw with a very, very fine saw blade. Alright, so it looks like the jump ring has come off on this chain here. So we're going to resolder that jump ring back on. Let me take my blue gloves off here before the camera decides to be a butt. Okay, so again, well, for those of you that have been here for a little bit, this is a spring ring, whereas the lobster clasp looks like this. So a lobster literally looks like a lobster claw, and a spring ring looks like a ring that's got a spring in it. So spring rings, you do not solder shut. At least with a torch. If you have a laser, I'm sure you could, no problem. Okay, so if we take a look at this, this probably broke because there's so much solder that is there. On rings, or on chains, the more solder you use, the weaker the joint is. So what we got to do is I'm gonna kind of cut a lot of that solder off. We'll reuse the solder that's on there, but I'm gonna cut a lot of that off there. Because what it does is the chain is supposed to be fluid, right? And when you put a solder on there, it makes it rigid. And so then when it tries to be fluid, when it's got all that weight on it, it will just break. So for chains, the less solder is more. And your goal on a chain, if you're ever repairing one, is to... You don't want the client to see where you fixed it. That is your goal. I mean, I guess that's the goal for all repairs, but especially chains because it's so easy to find where it was fixed. All right. So I'm actually going to switch sides on these. Wow, look at that. The camera is like getting blurry on the edges. That's really weird. There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put some boric acid and alcohol on those. Light them on fire. This helps it from oxidizing. And we don't need to add any solder because there's a lot of solder on this already. So we are going to add some flux. Now, I like to let the flux kind of soak into the heat plate here. I like to let it soak in a bit before I actually go at it. Just because it makes the chain move, and it's very hard to solder to then. So we're going to grab this. Okay, now the way that I solder chains, you can do it. There are a lot of different ways that work very well. The way I do it, if I can actually grab this jump ring, oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, jump ring. You hot? No. I have some gold on the end of my tweezers here. Okay. So again, what I do is I grab the jump ring. It doesn't want to be grabbed. What's up, Jezebel? Thanks for joining. And then I heat next to it, so I kind of heat up the heat pad. Some people will put their torch above it, but I like to kind of bounce my heat off the hot plate here. Oh, come on, I had you. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa! Booty Doctor with the 5 gifted subs! Dude! To Sunrise Bird, Boring Girl, Findale, Gem Doctor, and Patters, too! Thank you so much for your generosity, dude. You guys were just gifted a tier 1 sub from Booty Doctor. Thank you so much, man. How are you doing, Booty? Social!
Oh,
I hope all is well. I'm doing great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am getting prepped and ready for the Christmas season. Came in to ask when the next drum game is. Actually, I've been thinking about that.
Yeah.
Because I've got other people that were playing Counter-Strike with me, and they were like, Ryan, when are we doing drum games? So maybe we'll do that in July. Maybe we'll try for a night in July. I will post it in the drum game group on Steam, 100%. All right, so now, guys, that we soldered that, and again, we want as little solder. Well, I gotta get it to stop moving. As little solder as possible. Sorry, I can't get it to stop moving. So now what we're going to do is we are going to test it to make sure it doesn't break. You always test your chains after you solder them, because it's better that they break in your hand than in your customer's hand. Because all you have as a jeweler is your reputation. Gonna clean the chimney, oh my gosh. So here, so now what we're gonna do is this. Didn't break, we're good. You think about it a lot, you haven't played CS in forever, but it would be great to do it one night. Yeah, maybe I'll try and make it for the end of July. Maybe I'll try and do that, because my busy season's going to start up August, September for work. So, what do I have to do to prep for Christmas? Basically, get my apprentice trained up. Get my apprentice trained up, make sure that we're far enough ahead on our work, and get ready and stock up on... I guess you guys want to see what I'm doing. Stock up on, what do you call it? Oh, that's one way to do it. Alright. Stock up on, like, crowns and other things, because everyone always needs stuff last minute. Yo, what's up, Squirrel? Thanks for joining. Yes, everything is well. We just fixed a chain that does not want to stay. Is this an apprentice that came with you from a previous job? No. This is an apprentice that I found. Well, I knew the person, so that's... I mean, I'm very paranoid, so when it comes to work and stuff, like with this stuff. So I know the person, hence why I hired them to be an apprentice. You need to send me the ring from Kay because it broke again? Oh man, Jezebel. Yeah, send it here. Actually, I've been thinking... So you guys know... you guys know how... when we get a level 5 hype train, I give away a gemstone, right? I've been thinking, when I'm on the bench, if we do a level 5 hype train and we complete a level 5 hype train, I will do one free repair on someone's jewelry. Like up to like $200 worth of maintenance, basically. I think that'd be kind of fun. So if you had a ring that you needed sized or something like that, that would sweeten the pot. Maybe starting July. Maybe we'll start that in July. There we go. There we go. It's not coming apart. So then, like, because especially with the way that prices are going in the U.S., I'm sure some people like need to get a ring size, but they don't have $50 to spend on getting their ring sized up. You know what I mean? And so that's just something that would be kind of fun to be able to give back. Please take out 3 of the links. Oh, I don't know if I want to do this one tonight. Nope, I don't want to do that one. I'll set that one aside. Alright, let's grab the one that we're going to be re-tipping on here, okay? And then we'll readjust the camera. You need just general maintenance on your ring, checking it and all. But you're hesitant to trust someone you don't know. Well, and that's the other thing too, like if you just have an old ring that you want to like get polished up and rhodium plated or something like that, then that's something that I could definitely do. Alright, let me grab this ring, hold on. Yeah, these are the different solders that I use. So I've got, so when I say, okay, so like this one is 14 karat yellow, see the Y, and then easy. The E means easy, which means it's got a lower melting point. What's up, Sibis? Whereas this one, you can see, says 14K, then that's a W and an H. So it's 14K white hard. And then you got the silvers. So like this one's silver hard. I don't know if it'll actually show up on the camera. You see the SH? That means it's just got a higher melting point. And then you got silver soft. Over here's yellow hard. Here's my yellow hard. I put the YH on that one, yeah. So yep, these are all the different solders. Here's the rose. 14K pink hard. Alright, so what we're going to be doing is we need to re-tip this tiny diamond here. Because the prongs are so... Oh man, this has been tipped before. Whew. Oh, this is kind of interesting that a lot of people don't know. Any silver new game plus over there, or just easy and hard difficulties? What? Friend Squirrel, I don't understand. Oh, I get it. I get it. Now I get it. I get it. I get it now. A video game. Yep. I got it. It wasn't bad. Okay, so I want you to look at these. I wonder if my camera will pick up on it. Oh, yeah. Okay, so look at that center diamond. I'm going to show you the difference between full cut and single cut diamonds. So full cut looks like the center diamond right there. Right? Looks like a normal sparkly diamond. Single cut looks like this tiny diamond, which is like a almost like a pie slices. Is what it looks like. That's what we're tipping on. Because if you look at the side here, you see how there's no, like, the prong doesn't even go over the diamond. It's just down on the side of it. New Pokemon game? My buddy said he started playing it and he really likes it because it's more about kind of researching the Pokemon instead of just like going and battling. It's called Single Cut. Yep, only one tier I believe on the pavilion and 2 tiers. No, 1 tier on the pavilion, 1 tier on the crown. Yep. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try and re-tip this, and let's hope that all the prongs don't melt, because it's been tipped before. So let's go ahead and switch to the other camera here. I don't know how people stream bench work, because like there's so much bright light that I feel like cameras just don't like picking it up. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can get it any more focused unless I actually like zoom out. But then you can't see what's going on. We're just gonna go like this. Yeah, like see this? This is what we got to tip on right here, this guy. I'm just gonna keep trying to focus this. Nope, I think that's as good as you get right there, guys. Sorry. Sorry. What if I go like really dark in here? Hold on. Then we zoom in all the way. Does that help? Well, that might help. I'm going to keep it a little dark. Alright, so when you re-tip prongs, you always use hard solder, because you don't want stuff melting on you if you're doing work anywhere else. And how many prongs do they want tipped? All 4 prongs. I don't think all 4 need to get done, but I think on the other stone they need some. Alright, let me move the solder up here so you can actually see me pick it up. Alright, here we go. So I'm using a very... I mean, it's got to be like a tiny flame because these prongs, I don't want to melt any of the other prongs. So we're going to go ahead and put some flux on here. So again, I got to be aware of where the heat's going. There's so much solder on those other prongs. That didn't even flow nicely. There we go. Feel like you must have missed it at some point. What does tipping mean in regards to jewelry repair? So I'm building up, yeah. So when the prongs wear down, what I'm doing right now is I'm basically adding metal back to the prongs so that they'll last another 30 years or however much this person... Oh, dang it. So this one right here just melted while I was trying to get this one to go. Okay, I gotta clean off like that other prong over here if I'm gonna. Maybe I can. Maybe I think I can make it work. Let's do this. Sometimes you'll run into jobs where other jewelers have worked on it and they decided to use easy solder to do some of the work. And that sucks because then everything melts and then you gotta fix. You basically gotta fix what could have been avoided if they used the proper solder for the job. Easy solder just makes it go quicker. But easy, yeah, like they use easy solder or something because it's not flowing. But I got that to go. All right, cool. But easy solder is also more brittle because it has less gold in it. I mean, it's still 14 karat gold, but like I guess it's got more of the alloy in it that makes it a lower melting point, if that makes sense. So that alloy that's in there makes it a bit more brittle. And yeah, all prongs on rings wear down over time. Oh, you guys want to see a commission that we're going to be doing? So we're actually custom fabricating this, but I'm waiting for the person's providing the stones. But check this out. Ooh. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm removing the milligrain. That's all the little dots you see on there. And then in place of where these diamonds are, I'm going to put little marquees in there. So they're actually going to be pink sapphire marquees as the leaves. Yep, from Stoller. And then look at the side too. You got that side detail. Dude, Paint Biscuit, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome to the Rough Crowd. How you doing, man? Put my rupee in that. It would look nice in there. Found you on YouTube when you were searching for fastening videos. Your stream is fun. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I just I just upload like my old streams to YouTube without editing because I don't have time to edit. But dude, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for checking me out. Yeah. I also prefer live streaming to like YouTube videos because I can answer questions live. Like if you had a question like what is retipping? You know, I can explain it. That's the same way you found me? Oh, man. Alright, so here's the next ring that we're going to be working on. We're just going to be sizing this one. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. There we go. Yeah, I actually, Paint Biscuit, I just started streaming my bench work, too. So we're not cutting stones tonight. But actually, the stone below me is the one that I'm working on currently. So I got to clean this because it's filthy. So, one moment. What's up, Findale? What is retipping? Is that when you go and tip the cow again after it stands back up? Exactly. Brilliant. Just started both faceting and silversmithing. Nice! You're trying to absorb lots of knowledge. Yeah, dude. Well, if you have any questions about how to do stuff, feel free to ask. I've been a goldsmith for about 10 years, and the faceting I've been doing for about 15 years. And we also have a lot of other facetors that have even more experience than I do that are watching too. Also, feel free to join the Discord because we have lots and lots of talented people in there that are willing to help, and also we'd love to see any work you've done. All right, we are going to fix a rope chain. So this is a hollow rope chain, and hollow rope chains are no fun to fix. Let's put it that way. What did the saw do to the gym? What? You're browsing Twitch and was blinded by a glaring light, so after letting my eyes adjust, you clicked out of interest, and the rest is just... Yes, it was my bright head. This just shining head. Alright, so when I fit... Oh, hold on. What is... What... There we go. Let's see if I can really get in on this. How's that? I think that's good. When you use the saw, what did it do to the gemstone? Oh, nothing. Because the stone is harder than... the stone's harder than steel. So it didn't do anything to it.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa! Sibis with 20 months! 1 month ahead of Yar! Wow, thanks, man, so much for the support. I really appreciate that. Coming up on a year? Woo! That's insane. Gearbox with the 69 bits! Glad I could show up and see you crafting. Thank you so much, Gearbox. I really appreciate that. How you doing tonight, man? Why did I use a saw on it? Because my file just made it. My file wasn't cutting it off. It was just kind of making it it was just kind of putting it over the stone. So the saw actually cut that, so it was sharper and didn't stick out on the stone so much. Hot and sticky. I hate summer too. Well, I love summer, but hate it. You prime subbed when it... Oh, thank you so much. I think there were like 20-some people that continued their subscriptions for like the 3 months that I had to take off for Sebastian. I really, really appreciate that. It means a lot. It really does. Alright, so on chains we use easy solder because we don't want it to melt. And again, remember that less solder is more when it comes to chains. The less solder you use, the better the bond is going to be. The James bond. What do we need? We need this up here. So here is the tiny bit of solder. Can you even see it? Hold on. It's like right here. There. That's the tiny bit of solder we're going to use. Your chain broke. Oh, no. What kind of chain do you have? So first thing we're going to do here is we are going to dip it in our boric acid and alcohol. Then we're going to light it on fire. Alright, let's go here. Alright, so with these, how I like to do it is I'll ball up the solder. And then I'll just set it like right there. And then I'll take this side of the chain and I'll just put it right on top of there. And then we're going to put some flux. That didn't work how I wanted it to. Oh god, it went everywhere. It moved the solder, everything. Okay. Sorry, I'm like all over the place on camera here. Alright, let's just do it right here. There we go. Now, because this is hollow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the flame next to it. And I got to watch to see when that solder flows, is what it is. So tiny. Silver chain and the Lynx smaller chain. Oh no. What kind of surface am I soldering on? This is basically like porcelain, I guess? Hold on, I don't like how this is positioned. Oh, did it already flow? Okay. Doesn't look like it did. No, it didn't. Okay. Okay, there we go. So again, I'm pointing my flame down onto the I don't know, I kind of call it a heat pad. I gotta go fluffier. It's too hot. But what it does is it absorbs the heat, and also it kind of bounces the heat up onto the chain lightly. What I'm doing is I'm looking to see when the solder flows. It's not wanting to flow. It's alright, we're just going to add some flux. The only Nate, if you could heat from below the tile, yeah, if only, right? How you doing, only Nate? Thanks for joining, man. I gotta reposition this. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm taking this hook off. There's like a little hook on here. I'm cutting it off. It's not working for me. Thought I could make it work and blend in there. It's not working. Pardon me, guys. I'm a little phlegmy tonight. You know, all the allergies. Anyone else have really bad allergies? Ugh. That's one thing that I think I passed on to Sebastian. Bad allergies. So this does take a little bit of time because what we're doing is we're slowly heating up the chain and the solder until they basically reach the same temperature, and then the solder will flow. There we go. Oh! There's more there's more solder in there. Drink more water? I've been drinking water, man. I've been down in this. Let's see, we started with 64 ounces. We're down to 24. Dude, I saw solder flow. There must be more solder in this thing. Alright, here we go. Perfect. Hate when the solder deceives you like that. I know, right? It's like, oh, only the flux was hanging on there. Okay, so it's hanging on a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're just going to kind of pinch this chain down. Then we're going to add another tiny bit of solder over here. If anyone wants to pretend it's winter in Minnesota, they can visit your basement. Yeah, my basement's pretty chilly too, actually. Yeah, Sibis, you just got a new house, didn't you? That's got to be fun. Minnesota. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set this. Right there. Alright, here we go. Come on, you know you want to flow this way. Oh yeah, there it is. Nice. Very nice. There we go, guys. There we go. Now we just got to clean it up a little bit. But hold on, we got to do the test. Got to do the test. Didn't break. We're good. You need a new DOP holder? Weirdest thing ever, they don't have basements down here. I bet that is weird, coming from Minnesota. Dude, well, it's probably because of water. But let me tell you what, I love having a basement. Absolutely love it. Just because, like, I don't know, it's so much extra living space. And in the summer, it's nice and cool. Oh yeah, we're sizing that men's ring. Let me grab it out of the cleaner. Now we're gonna size this men's ring. Oh, it's because of the clay. Like, what does that mean? Does it mean it's like, will the house sinks? All right, so let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit here. Ooh. Perfect. Okay, so we are sizing this this ring. Boop. I mean, I guess that's where I work. That works. To size 8.5. Okay, so what we got to do is we got to put it on the mandrel. So we're sitting at a 9.5 on here, and we want to go to an 8.5. So we're going to take out one size out of there. So the way we do that is we've got these fancy, this fancy thing that tells you what sizes are what. So this is our one size. You see the 1.0 on there? This is one size. They don't have basements either. You got a necklace with a wolf face and eyes made out of black gems, and one gem is not right. How could you fix it? What do you mean it's not right? Like, it's kind of... is it crooked, Tibbo? So that's what I do is I mark it with a line, the two lines on there. I just run it across. Oh, interesting. Sibis, or anyone else in chat, has anyone been to the JCK convention thing that happens in, what, Las Vegas? Anyone go to JCK? I'm debating if it's worth something that, like, we should go to next year. Yeah, post a picture of it in Discord, Tibbo. Wish we could bond over moving somewhere cooler, but Texas is alright, I guess. Yeah, the Vegas Jeweler meetup. Not worth it for you? So, like, but, like, as a repair shop that could use some, like, mellies and stuff like that, is it worth it, you think? Alright, so there's the amount of gold that we've taken out right there. So we're going to go ahead and now we got to bring this together. So a lot of the times you can just kind of squeeze it, but this is a little too rigid to squeeze. So we're going to use what I like to call the ring rounders. The boys in Vegas. I'm just wondering, like, if I could find some really good deals. There you go. You see how I'm rounding it out? Or rounding it in? I don't know. On like, mellies. For both diamonds and colored stones. Yar would never see me if we went to Vegas. You never again want to hear the phrase polar vortex? Well, didn't Texas get a polar vortex last year? Alright, so now we've got it all put together. Just like that. I guess being zoomed in is a lot better for this aspect of it. So now we got to put some solder in here. I like to put solder. Normally I fuse my piece where I heat it up and then it comes together. But on wider shanks I don't like to fuse, so I'm going to use solder. So what we're going to do is we're going to take solder. I like to put solder inside the sizing seam. Because what I feel like I get less pits and it flows better. So there we go. Now we got the solder inside the seam right there. Now we're just going to light the ring on fire. If you're still waiting for you to go source your own gems, there's a killer topaz mine with gobs of champagne topaz. Oh, that'd be pretty. Yeah, it was kind of cold, so the whole state shut down. Hold on. Oh, still bitter about it. Okay. I thought you were saying you were better than Minnesota. I was going to be like, excuse me? We are, like, the best, don't you know? Oh, man. Okay, here we go. So we're going to put some flux there, and then we're going to go ahead and go at it. So gold compared to silver when you're doing this, the gold is easier than silver. I actually start my apprentices out learning silver, not because it's cheaper, but because it's harder. Because gold, it just needs to heat up in a small area before the solder and stuff will flow. Whereas silver, because silver conducts heat so well, the whole ring needs to heat up before any solder will actually flow on it. So, once you learn silver, do not be afraid of gold. Gold is 100 times easier than silver to work on. You bought a pair of boots and said y'all all the time. We all moved from Minnesota together. Well, I mean, do you guys know the plural form of y'all? The plural form of y'all is all y'all. Yes, it is expensive. But yeah, silver, the whole thing has to heat up before your solder will flow. So that's why you don't want to use too high of heat, because then you'll boil the solder, and then you'll have pits, and then you got to burnish them out, or you got to cut it and resolder it too. A native Coloradoan? Is that what they are? Not Coloradian? Coloradoan? Alright, I'll take a look after stream, Tibbo. Alright, what am I doing here? We gotta clean up this chain. Alright, so now I'm going to move the camera again so you guys can actually see me clean up. Man, I don't know about this camera setup. I gotta figure this stuff out. Guys. Still getting used to this. Alright, now I gotta find where I repaired it. Right here, okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a rubber wheel over it. This will just smooth it out, and then we'll polish it. Can't even see what I'm doing, can ya? There we go. I should put together like a list of basic tools for people that want to do bench work. Like the must-haves that'll make your life easier. Then I should post it in my info section, I think. Unless you're in a group of people with southern accents or really get to talking, the only way you can tell you grew up around that accent is you say y'all all the time. So when you're polishing a chain, it's very, very important that you have it taut. So you always put it around your finger and you hold the rest down here like this, and I'm pulling down like that. Because if you try to polish a loose chain, it'll get caught, it'll whip around, and then you'll get seriously hurt. And when you're polishing hollow chains, you gotta be careful because you can polish right through the chain. There we go, guys. You gotta... Okay. Alright, cool. Now, we will put this, let's just make sure... So I like to run it through a cloth to make sure it doesn't snag. If it snags on the cloth, it'll snag on the person's skin and cut them. Oh yeah, we got that re-tipping one too we got to clean up. Man, we got all these cleanups. All the cleanups. Alright, so we'll do that, and then we'll grab this re-tipping that we want to clean up. Gems and jewelry, alright. Alright, so... here's what we're going to do. Can I get any closer? Sorry for the crotch shot, guys. There you go. Is that better? Yeah, no problem, Tibbo. That's what I'm here for, man. Alright, cool. Now, we're just going to kind of even out the prongs. Make sure they're all level. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of polish in the hard to reach spots here. And then I'm going to polish the prongs on the back here real quick. Alright. There we go. Prongs done. Now we've got that other ring, that men's ring that we gotta finish sizing. Okay, so what size were we going to? 8.5, right? Yep. So this is practically exactly an 8.5. Look at that. So we're just going to kind of round it out a little bit. Maybe just tap that a little bit. Now when you tap something, you want to tap it right on the seam where you sized it. Because that's where you got more metal. And so that will it won't thin out your ring so much. And especially with silver, when you're working with silver, you got to make sure that you, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? When you work with silver, you want to make sure that you tap very lightly, because silver sizes up, or it's so soft that it compacts so easily that like one hit with the hammer, when you're even just rounding it out, and you just go like that, could bump it up a half size. So yeah, just a little tap, just a little tap and tap. So now I'm just filing the sides. I got to be careful because it's hollow inside the ring. If you look, you see where it gets hollow up in here. And if I hammer or file too much, I'll take the side right down the wall. So what I like to do is I like to put my my thumbs where the hollow parts are, and then I just file in between. So I'll put my finger in my thumbs, both thumbs. I just go like this, and then I file. So I'll go like this, and then my finger prevents me from actually filing the part that I don't want to file. How many thumbs do I have? Oh, you know. I think the real question is, how can I hold this with 2 thumbs and file at the same time? That's the real question. Do I have tools to smelt? You mean like casting stuff? Okay, now when you file the outside of a ring, you want to, let me just turn that, there we go. You want to turn the ring while you bring your file around it. Otherwise, you're gonna get flat spots. So you're kind of like doing a chicken wing thing. I don't have any casting equipment. I plan to, as soon as I get better at with CAD and can actually kind of take it on. Because I mean, I don't have time to carve waxes. I don't want to carve waxes. So no, I have the oven, but that's it. And that's it. You see how nice and round that is? So now what I'm doing is I'm just cleaning up the inside. Soon, Sibis, soon. And move to Minnesota? Yeah, man. Come up here to Minnesota. I'm in the process of learning CAD. Actually, maybe I'll do a stream. Maybe I'll do a stream of learning CAD. And then we can kind of learn together. I mean, you have a big enough mouse pad to stream. So I think you totally could. Oh, it's not that bad, Control. It's not that bad. So I like to go over everywhere where I've filed, because it makes polishing easier for my apprentice and myself. Yeah, not bad. You can go for a short walk. So we're going to go ahead and polish the inside of the ring, make it nice and shiny. Ow, hot, 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 hot. Yeah. That's that. Does anyone have any questions? What time is it? Yeah, I'm going to start probably packing up here. Anyone have any questions for me? I have made gem dice. It takes forever. It takes forever. Because you die in 30 minutes. Yes, that is true. Yeah, guys, so, yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah, I gotta check the stones, make sure they're nice and tight. Alright. Just don't go outside. Alright, guys. Well, I think that's the end of our stream here. Let's see if we can find someone to raid. Let's see if I can put like something interesting on the camera here while we kind of end it. There we go, and I'll just like bring some solder in here, right? Maybe add a little color. Perfect. Top 5 summer in the US though, yes. Probably have questions about cutting next time you get on the machine. Yeah, man, I should be on the machine next week. Next week at some point. Probably, I'm gonna try. Okay, so my schedule that I'm gonna try doing here. This week was weird because Sandy had work stuff come up that she had to stay at work late, so I couldn't stream and all that stuff. But I'm going to try streaming repairs on, I think, Mondays. And then I'm going to try streaming gem cutting on Thursdays.